Coming up in this episode, man, as we've been following along with this Nolan Wells tragedy and all the evidence that's coming out, new enhanced audio that we heard, a lot of people have their own theory and their own opinion. But I will say this, man. Officer Tatum is making things look bad. And the reason why I say that is because we all know who Officer Tatum is. Officer Tatum is that type of person you want to be ripped. And Officer Tatum has made it known that he doesn't care too much for black people. Just listen to a lot of things that he has said about black folks, and listen to the things that he said about the late great Dr. Martin Luther King, what he said about Al Sharpton, now what he's saying about Benjamin Crump. And a lot of people have commented that, this type of person needs to be stopped. And this Nolan Wells story, the whole tragedy, is sad because Nolan Wells, an 18-year-old teenager, went out on 4th of July with his so-called friends, and a tragedy occurred. Now, if you're hanging out with your friends should have made sure everybody was accountable before they returned back to where they left off. And this didn't happen. Nolan Wells tragically died on 4th of July out on Horns Island. And this whole story has taken on a whole description of itself. You got people coming out saying this, you got people coming out saying that. But it's one Officer Tatum that has got himself involved and think he has all the answers and everything that proves that Nolan Wells' friends are innocent. That might well be the case. Was it a tragic accident? Was it an accidental drowning? Or was there foul play? The only thing that we can go on right now is if this goes to a grand jury, all the witness testimonies. But we've seen some of these witnesses recant their statements. Now, Officer Tatum has sat down with the 3 individuals involved, and they have openly spoke to Officer Tatum. He did an interview with Warren to get Warren's side, and he believes Warren. It's kind of crazy that he's sitting there believing everything that Warren has said. And he's putting his own investigation together. But it seems like, why is everybody running to Officer Tatum, giving him all this information? And this is where I disagree with Officer Tatum. I don't think this stuff is occurring. I don't think people are reaching out to him, giving him this information. I think he's going off his own theory, trying to make himself look like he's ahead of this investigation. He was a former officer. He was never a detective. And all the information that you got, people have questioned. Now there's evidence about the audio. You saying that the audio was doctored, and if you really listen to the audio and go in it with a open mind frame, you would understand that it was not saying nothing about Nolan. Then now, it seems that it happens all the time when Black Americans or Black African Americans get killed or tragically pass away. They always bring up cocaine, and alcoholism. And I just think this particular thing that Officer Tatum has done, he's went a little too far by talking about sources. These are credible sources that are telling him that Nolan Wells was doing cocaine and heavily drinking on Orange Island. Now, do you guys find that kind of ironic that every time an African American dies or gets killed or gets murdered or they suspect foul play, people always try to make it like the person that passed is the victim because they start bringing out stories that are irrelevant. In this case, Officer Tatum has went too far by talking about this young 18-year-old who's out there doing cocaine. There's nothing in Nolan Wells' history or background stating that he's ever did cocaine or he was a heavy drinker. He had aspirations of trying to get to the NFL, just signed a deal to play with a local college for football. And that's all been taken away from him. But Officer Tatum, his narrative now is that Nolan was on cocaine and heavily drinking. And the new autopsy report reveals something that we should pay attention to. The cause of death is still undetermined. And with the new photos from the toxicology report of the bleeding in the back of his head, a lot of people suspect foul play. And Nancy Grace is one of those. But before we get off into what Officer Tatum said about the sources and people reaching out to him, y'all do me a favor, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe on the video. Now, Officer Tatum has gone on his social media to put this narrative out about Nolan Wells possibly, allegedly on cocaine. Let's take a listen.
Guys, please take in consideration that it's reliable sources. However, the only way to prove the truth in this is if I see it with my own eyes, if the law enforcement have the investigation of this, and also when the toxicology results come out. But people are messaging me and telling me that there is heavy drinking and there's cocaine involved. And there's a particular person whom I know this person's name. I'm not going to disclose it. I'm going to go to the police first, and then I will disclose it if it doesn't interfere in the investigation. But this person allegedly was offering people cocaine, and someone close to Nolan, one of his friends, told me that this person was offered cocaine and rejected it from this person. And I was also told, and this person told me that it's over 100% chance that Nolan was using cocaine during this period of time.
Wow.
This person said it was 150% sure that when the toxicology comes back, that Nolan will have cocaine in his system. Now, again, taking into consideration, this is somebody telling me this. I'm not saying it's me. I'm not saying it. I'm not able to verify it. But from the sources that I'm getting it from has been consistent, verifiable sources thus far, and haven't been wrong about nothing. So there's a possibility that there's a person that Nolan may have been around or interacted with that is giving cocaine to people on this island, that Nolan may have taken the cocaine. And then also, I received a DM from someone DMing another person. Now I'm trying to leave these names out because I want to not mess this investigation up. I think law enforcement already have this. That alluded to the fact that, and I messaged this person because I want to talk directly to the person that I saw the DM from. And we haven't talked to this person yet. But the person said in the DM to another kid that is associated, not any of the kids that I interviewed to talk to, but that could be associated to some degree, that knew Nolan, that this person wrote a message saying, me and my husband saw you arguing with Nolan, and to the effect of you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. Now, the person did not say they saw a physical altercation. The person did not say what time they saw Nolan and this other person getting into an argument. Now, this is after Warren Airboat left. This may be somewhere around a little bit before 6.
Now, you heard what Officer Tatum had to say. The problem I have is that you came on social media and you said that you was not going to reveal this person, but you basically just put it out there without revealing this person. Because I find it kind of ironic. Why is everybody running to Officer Tatum, giving him all this information? I know the reason why. Because the white folks feel comfortable with Officer Tatum. That's why. If this is all true and actual factual, and he said sources is credible, but you know how I feel about sources. Everybody has them. Sources are opinions. And he said they're verifiable. That it's 100% to 150% that Nolan Wells was doing cocaine. Now, why would Nolan Wells on this particular day of the 4th of July decide to partake in cocaine? As an 18-year-old growing up, no history of alcoholism or cocaine. And you get one particular day, 4th of July, Independence Day, to go out on the boat and decide, oh, this day I'm just going to do some cocaine. I find that ironic. This kid had dreams and aspirations of, like I stated, getting to the NFL. That was short-lived. From the tragedy. Yeah. And the family just wants answers. But Officer Tatum keeps getting in the middle of this investigation and coming up with his own theory and his own narratives. Like, it seems like he's trying to protect the white guys and slander the person that was killed or tragically passed with no wrongdoing. This is just sad across the board. And his parents deserve answers. And Officer Tatum is not making it no better because he is just trying to challenge every black person that has said anything about this Nolan Wells tragedy. And it's a lot of going back and forth. But he has went too far. Always in a tragic death or passing of a black person, it's always got to be considered. They was on drugs. They was alcohol. They drank too much alcohol. This guy has to stop. Y'all do me a favor. Get down in the comment section.
I see everyone in the comment section hashtag salute. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you will know every time I drop a hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot, tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And that will wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. Catch you on the next one. Deuces.